Hi, I'm Nathan and welcome to Ninja Monkey, the place for all things related to Japan. I do the research so that you don't have to, and I put all the readily available information into one place. As Japan continues closed to most people, I try to keep you informed regarding anything that might be potentially of interest and hopefully help you get some insights and help you answer the question, when will Japan's border reopen? In this video, we'll be looking at the vaccine situation in Japan, an area that might become more important now that the booster program is starting to get priority. We will also be looking at case numbers across Japan and in Tokyo and what it might mean in the short term. Japan's go-to campaign is likely delayed, but what does that actually mean for you? And we will also look at some potential border discussions that are set to happen next week. But as things escalate, will quasi-state of emergencies and cases going up have a negative effect? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's get started. On the topic of vaccinations, Japan has now administered a total of 201,168,165 doses. This includes first, second and booster jabs too. This means that for now, out of a population of around 126 million people, 79.8% have now received one dose of the vaccine and 78.4% have received both doses of the vaccine and would therefore be considered fully vaccinated. In terms of booster jabs, 752,799 third doses have been administered nationwide. That's actually 221,503 additional third doses administered since my last update and equals around 0.6% of the population. The main vaccine drive is obviously coming to an end and will likely stall at around the 80% double vaccinated mark. It's clear that there's been an increase in booster jabs this week, something that will most likely continue increasing weekly from now on. And regarding COVID, with the introduction of community transmission of the Omicron variant, I had been predicting that numbers would quickly escalate. In last week's update, I mentioned that Tokyo's cases reached 76 cases on the 29th of December and mentioned that with the spread of the variant, we would have to keep an eye on things in the coming fortnight. Things have actually escalated quite fast. 922 cases were reported in Tokyo on Friday on the 7th of January. Along with a big increase in Tokyo, other notable mentions are 981 cases reported on the 6th of January in Okinawa, a number that has since then gone up, and 505 cases reported in Osaka also on the 6th of January. In total, nationwide, 4,301 cases were reported on Thursday the 6th, and since then has probably also gone up. As you can see, team, this is probably the start of a new wave, but it's important to keep an eye on hospitalizations and bed capacities, and currently in Tokyo there are only 3 people with severe symptoms out of 553 hospitalized patients and a healthy 6,919 beds that are available, with 510 of those secured for severe patients. The week ahead looks like it might be a rocky one. During his New Year's address, Kishida said that border measures would remain strong, but also noted that the policy would be reviewed next week after looking at the effects that year-end holidays have had on the situation. He also said that Japan would bring forward booster shots for elderly people and specifically laid out plans for protecting the health system, including the use of new oral treatments. Team, it's important to look at the situation currently happening in Japan and how the government is treating it. For starters, when it comes to tourism, one of the clearest indicators is the fact that the Japanese government will delay its Go-To Travel domestic tourism promotion campaign this month, as suggested by Tourism Minister Saito on Friday. We are not at a point where we can announce a specific date for resuming the campaign, Saito told a press conference on Friday. We're in a situation where we should assume that the spread of the coronavirus will proceed rapidly. However, it is important to note that the minister stressed that the basic rule for resuming the domestic tourism campaign is that the infection situation remains calm. Therefore, it is my belief that if domestic tourism continues on hold, then international tourism will not restart until at least Japan's Go-To campaign has launched. Although, as always, it's impossible to know how things will pan out in this area, and these are only my thoughts at the moment, with the information available, and information and policies that are always changing. In regards to the border reopening for students, business people and those apart from their loved ones, I am hopeful that there will be some sort of mention of relaxation of the borders, but it's also important to note that Japan has decided on Friday to place 3 prefectures under a quasi-state of emergency, those being Okinawa, Yamaguchi and Hiroshima. and will be effective from Sunday until January the 31st, with measures once again requesting that dining establishments shorten the business hours and stop serving alcohol. We judged that we need to cope with the spread of infections swiftly, Kishida said at a meeting on the coronavirus response at his office. Infection numbers have been rising nationwide through the year-end New Year period, and community transmission of Omicron has been reported in parts of the nation, he added. Although Tokyo has currently not been put in any sort of state of emergency, public facilities, including the popular Ueno Zoo, will be closed from next Tuesday for the time being as a result of infections. So team, the reality is that if Kishida has said that the border restrictions will be evaluated next week depending on the end of year effects of the virus, and he has since then stated that the infection numbers have been rising nationwide through the year-end New Year's period, and that community transmission of Omicron has been reported in parts of the nation, this is unfortunately quite a big red marker in regards to what might be the outcome of said border measures being relaxed, as Kishida seems to be going for a better than sorry approach. I do, however, remain optimistic that Japan is in a much better place to deal with this new wave. They have built a much better infrastructure in regards to the improvement of testing, more beds are available, and that the experience from the past should hopefully mean that even though there is a new wave, that there's also a quasi-state of emergency, this does not mean that the outcome needs to be the same. There are also other positive things at play that could potentially help in some sort of relaxation of the border. Firstly, it has already become apparent that with the correct testing and quarantine measures, most infections are not spread through the border, meaning that there does not necessarily have to be a connection between the point of entry at the borders and infections. Not only that, but the measures have been criticized as discriminatory by the World Health Organization, which has urged countries not to impose blanket travel bans, saying they are ineffective in preventing the virus from spreading and place a heavy burden on people's lives. Additionally, pressure has started to mount, and a petition signed by over 12,000 people that was submitted by my friend Davide to the Japanese government on Thursday, which in my opinion is very good timing and will hopefully bring to the forefront the pleas of students and those stranded out of the country just in time for any decisions on the border to be made. Anyway team, I always love to get your opinions on all of this, and if you haven't got much to say, just say hi and where you're from. I love seeing the community grow and how international the community is becoming. You can also take the time to encourage each other down there in the comment section with any information that you might think is helpful or relevant, and you can always contact me with any extra information that you think I should include in a video, either via one of my social platforms or simply sharing with the community in the comments. I've also recently been streaming, sometimes quite last minute and randomly, and other times with a good scheduled warning. So if you do happen to see me live, come and hang out and say hi. I could try to answer any questions that you have and have a nice casual chat. Also, if you like what you're seeing and you're not subscribed, why not become part of Team Ninja Monkey? I would love to have you as part of the team. Don't forget to hit the like button, as it really does help the video. So that's all for now. Stay positive team. Till next time, I'll continue researching and keeping an eye on all updates until the next video. So till then, arigato, gracias, thanks, bye.